Hello everybody, it's about that time. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Alright guys, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Hopefully this will be a little tastier than yesterday's beer. Today's beer comes from Red Rock Brewing. This is their Drioma, D-R-I-O-M-A, Russian Imperial Stout, sent to me by the way of Brennan from the great state of Utah. These are liquor store bought beers of more than 5% ABV, which you have to go to the liquor store to get in Utah. So, with that being said, guys, this is a big beer at 10.1% alcohol by volume. Russian Imperial Stout. Anything pertinent? Red Rock's Russian Imperial Stout. Drioma is named after the Slavic spirit of the night. Created around 1750, this London-born ale was exported to Russian courts, and known for dark malts and big flavors. And that's what all the Russian Imperial Stouts were. They were sent over to Catherine the Great and all of that, guys. I mean, Aroma unfolds itself with bold malt character and undertones, supported by subtle hints of coffee and burnt malt flavor. So, this beer wasn't sent to them because it wasn't in existence, but the style was. The Russian Imperial Stouts were sent over to the czars and the rulers of Russia during those times. So, it wasn't meant for the peasants like us. So, now we're so lucky, yes, we get to have the czar's beverages. So, alright guys, let's jump over to Untappd on this one. Again, Brennan, thanks a bunch for the awesome beer mail package. I'm hoping this is going to be a little tastier than the one that my palate didn't like yesterday. Some of you guys, and again, I did not go into that. The beer yesterday may have been, if you've had it, it may have been the best thing you've ever tasted. I mean, don't base what I say, of what I like or dislike, on what you try. I mean, at least buy one. Don't go buy a truckload of it if you've never had it, but at least buy one if you can. And give it a whirl, because my palate and your palate may not be in the same place. And what I may like, you may not like. And what I may not like, you may love. So, everybody's a little different. So, over at Untappd, this is a 10.1%. Yes, that's what it is. 59 IBUs. Roasty, chocolatey, smooth. Drioma is Slavic spirit for the rest of the night. The smooth subtle, just like a Russian Imperial Stout. Russian name given to the style. Consumption originally brewed in London for export to Russia. Yeah, so it's the same thing they've got written on the bottle, basically word for word. Pictures I'm seeing here, one of the pictures, it looks like Monster Head overcarbonation. So we got to be careful of that, guys, which is usually not the case on a 10% beer. But again, it can be. We have had that problem before. Jeffy comes to mind. Yeah. Alright, back up on the front there. I don't use this too much anymore, guys. So, got a feeling these guys are probably going to change up before too long. Everybody else has. They've resisted as long as they can, but this heavy glass container is not a proper vessel for beer anymore. That's right, I said it. Alright. Looks pretty dark coming out. Doesn't seem to be pitch black. It'll look that way in the glass though, but I mean, I can see light through the pour. So it's not motor oil coming out of the bottle. Alright, finger of head, nice cascading effect. Pitch black in the glass, of course. That looks awesome. A nice looking Russian Imperial Stout at 10%. Yeah, I'd be more inclined to buy 10% than I would a 12%, even though that one was barrel aged and this one is not. And that could lead to the additional ABV on the beer. Just the barrel aging will increase the ABV because that alcohol leaches into the beer, the bourbon, the whiskey, whatever barrel that it's aged in. So, what do you think about that? Look good to you? Mm-hmm. To the nose, we go. Roasted malt, caramel, toffee, some dates, plums, raisins. It's got a nice sweetness like molasses. It smells decent. I mean, it's got a really pleasant aroma. A little bit better than yesterday. I ain't got suntan lotion in the glass. So, alright, Brendan. Thanks a bunch, brother. Cheers. Cheers, everybody. A lot of malt. Not world class to me, but that's tasty. That's a little tastier than that, and I'm just not. It's not blowing my hair off with the booze. And the coconut. I don't know why it has so much of that, but that's tasty. This is nice and malty, caramel, toffee, and all that works together. The caramel and the toffee and the roasted malt. That's pleasant. That's pleasant. Now, again, it's not a 10 beer, guys. To me, that's just my opinion. It's not a 10 beer, and I'm saying that now before I even come back for the final chug. But that is pleasant. That is a pleasant beer. Again, if this is a fairly decently priced and not overpriced beer, again, remember it's 10%, 10.1. It's going to cost a little bit more to brew that big of a beer, but it shouldn't be astronomical. So, depending on what the cost of and I would think this would probably be a 4-pack, being a 10%er. That could be a really nice go-to final beer of the evening beer if you so choose, like I used to. I would do 3. I would start off with something light, then I would get into a double, and then I would get into something heavier like a triple or a bourbon barrel. So, start off with a 5, mid-range, a 7 or 8, and then finish up with a 10 to 12. So, you know, it all depends on what you want to drink and how young you are and what your doctor will let you drink after you've had some kind of medical emergency. Anyway, Drioma. Not too dry. Pretty tasty. Be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Got a little left here. Absolutely hardly any lacing at all around the big ballpark. Got just a little bit from that super aggressive trying to get something at the beginning here, guys. So it's a decent beer, guys. I mean, these monster beers, and especially the stouts anymore, I mean, like I said earlier, I've driven across state lines to get my hands on bigger beers, Imperial Stouts and barrel aged stouts before, but not so much anymore. When you're on a quest, it doesn't matter how far you have to go. It's a million miles, but it begins with one step in front of the other. But now, not so much. I mean, these monster beers, and I tried to, try all the heavy, super, Imperial, the biggest in the world, nuclear, Utopia. Been there, done that. They don't blow my hair back much anymore, guys. Final joke. That's very nice, very well done. I'm not here to drink the biggest beer in the world. I'm here to drink the tastiest beer in the world. Whether it's a 7%er, a 10%er, or a 55%er, or a 100%er, which I doubt that very seriously. But we're on our way. Don't know if I'll get to 5,000 beer reviews, but we're at 4,700 and so far. So, God willing, and everything lines up correctly with the moon and the stars and all of that kind of crap if you're astrological, I think this beer is pretty tasty, guys. So, I'm going to have to give this an A-. 90 for me on this one, guys. Red Rock Drioma. Over to Beer Advocate, I don't think we're going to have a score over there. If the computer will work. Yeah, that squirrel is pedaling as fast as it can down there. Here we go. Alright, it says 86. Very good. I would agree with that. It is a very good beer. Over to Untappd, they have it at 3.96. Upper end of the B+ range. Almost to the A- rating with 3,917 ratings. Nice, roasty, chocolatey, smooth, caramel, toffee, pleasant, not over boozy. This appealed to my palate a little more than the 12%er that we had yesterday. So guys, I don't know if it was just my palate saying I don't want to drink that magnitude of a beer anymore, or it's just that particular beer that it did not like. So, we shall see down the road. I'm sure there will be another one that we will check that theory out on. So guys, with that being said, if you've had Drioma, how's that pronounced? Drioma? Drioma? Am I doing that wrong? Am I saying that wrong? I don't know. So if you've had this, you can see the name. Let me know what you think, guys. I enjoyed it. Nice Russian Imperial Stout. Well made. Not too boozy. All the typical notes you're going to get from Russian Imperial Stout. So, until we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.